being homeless, just the thought of it before I came here was degrading. I was afraid people would find out. It made me feel like a failure, completely.
I drove over here, and I sat in the parking lot for 30 minutes, and I left. And I slept in my truck that night. I don't know, I was scared to come in. I'd never been in this situation before.
Moved to Maine 5 years ago, bought a house with my best friend, and she unfortunately had a stroke a year ago in November. And she's since gone to assisted living, which left us short on the mortgage payment. After pulling every rabbit out of the hat that I could, I finally had to give it up.
I ended up getting my bachelor's degree, and things were great. And it was 2006, I think. At the beginning of the year, I even bought a brand new car, something that I always wanted to do. And but during that year, I had lost my job, my car got repoed, and I couldn't afford my rent anymore. I didn't have any place to go.
I didn't know if I was coming or going. I didn't know if I could take care of my kids, how I was gonna feed them, shelter them. And the homeless shelter did it all for me. It took a big burden off my chest. Made me grow up, made me realize a lot of things.
We've had people here who have really had tough luck, and that's the reason they're here. We have other people who have emotional problems and need some stability in their life, and if you can get them on a right track, they can get out of it.
Our goal was to make it as warm, comfortable, and friendly environment as possible, so that if we had to stay here or somebody in our family had to stay here, we'd be comfortable doing so.
People who've lost their jobs and they don't have any money and they're evicted from their apartments, they come here, we put a plan together, we get them back into independent living, and they move on and they do well.
I mean, the first night going into the shelter, I was scared to death. I had no idea what to expect. I had the stigma, the whole stigma of homeless people going on, and I was scared. And I walked in the door, and the first thing that I saw was this huge dinner table with like a whole Thanksgiving dinner on it. The staff was very nice to me, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So it didn't take long for me to start feeling really comfortable. When my son came in a couple of weeks later, I'm sure he was scared to death too, but that little guy, he was just like, yep, well, as long as I'm with you, Mama, I'm fine.
We have a resource specialist who meets with each individual and links them up with whatever thing that they might need to be successful. It could be mental health care, it could be something to do with Social Security, it could be helping them find a job, drug and alcohol counseling. It's just, a myriad of things that people might need help with.
It's just been amazing. They don't do it for you, they enable you and push you in the right direction.
The one thing we do ask them to do is let us help them make a plan so they'd be successful in the future. If somebody refuses to do that, then we give them a 5-day stay. And that might be 1 out of 200 people. Most people, want help.
There are so many people in the community that support the shelter through making meals and volunteering to stay overnight. And what I've come to realize is the caring and the compassion they have for their fellow man.
People here do have a warm heart, and they do care about the people that come through. Points in the right direction and gives you a little bit of self-esteem. Get yourself back on your feet and start doing what you're supposed to do.
I love that I'm working now. I work almost full time, and to be out in the community and helping, I'm a waitress, so I get to deal with people every day, and it feels good.
We moved into our apartment, and then I still didn't have a vehicle, and so the coach started picking up my son, and one thing led to another, and kids got along. My son loved him. And we ended up getting married, he and I.
I have my own place again, make myself more self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency is one of the things I lost. To be self-sufficient again is a big step.
The college students will come in here and they cook, and I mean, for the time I was here, they'd come in and fix suppers or breakfast, and so that was kind of neat too. So I mean, I can do something to come over here and pay them back, for the help they've given me.
I'm doing different programs with Women Working Community. They've got a real lot to offer. I've only gone to 2 of the classes, and it's been unbelievable what I've learned.
One of the things that really works for us, I think, is our networking with the area churches, businesses, and the community at large. It's an incredible network. We work closely with the Salvation Army. They're just wonderful to work with. Kennebec Valley Behavioral Health. I mean, there's just so many.
Been getting involved in a lot more programs, volunteer programs back to the shelter. Come back quite often, help out if I can.
When they see a person that's just here because they want to help somebody and help them with nothing to gain for themselves, I think that really touches their heart and makes them feel like somebody cares about them, and gives them hope that they can get things back together and have a successful life.
Without the homeless shelter, I probably would be sleeping under a bridge or wandering the country.
Now, about 1 out of every 4 guests is a child, 25% of our population, so it's just, it's been an incredible surge, and sad to say, and homelessness of families, and so we just need the new shelter. 1, we need the beds. 2, we do house people off-site, but it's hard to meet their needs. We do deliver food to them. We do meet with them, but it's harder to connect with people. It's harder to take care of them and work with them when they're not under one roof.
It's always full, and I mean, they go out of their way to shelter people. So definitely, instead of having people out in motels, and I mean, they need to be brought all together, like it was when I was there, staying close to other people.
We have been extremely frugal with what we get, and we have stayed not only within our budget, but we have, over the years, set aside some money for the day, and I think the day has arrived when we're going to build a new shelter, so that we had done our work, and that we had some money before we went out to the community and asked for it.
They need something bigger. People need help. You don't come here to live, that you come here and they help you with their resources to help people move on, and that's something I realized.
We're doing excellent now. We seem to be getting by really good, and so we thank God every day.
It's given me hope again. I used to hope that they'd finish school, get married, have kids, go to college, go to service, do something. Now I just hope that they know, no matter what it takes to be a survivor.
Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, and resolve to be thankful evermore. It's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard time, come to me no more. It's a song to lift up the weary. Hard times, come to me no more. It's a song that forever is ringing in our ears. Oh,